There is a strange phenomenon that happens to many of us about 3 weeks into retirement. You wake up. You have your coffee. The house is quiet. The sun is shining. You sit down in your favorite chair with absolutely nothing on your calendar. This is the moment you dreamed of for 40 years. This is the promise of retirement. And yet, within 5 minutes, you feel it. A twitch in your leg. A tightness in your chest. A subtle nagging voice in the back of your head that says, you should be doing something. You try to ignore it. You try to look out the window. But the voice gets louder. Fix the fence. Call the accountant. Organize the garage. Read the news. Do something. Be useful. Before you know it, you are up. You are moving. You are finding a task, any task, just to silence the noise in your head. You are creating busy work to numb the discomfort of stillness. This is one of the most shocking discoveries of life after work. We thought we were exhausted and craving rest. But when we finally get the rest, we find that we don't know how to endure it. We find that doing nothing is not a relief. It is a source of profound anxiety. Why is this? Why does sitting still feel like a crime? Today, we are going to explore the psychology of the anxiety of stillness. We are going to look at why your brain has been wired to view productivity as survival, and how you can break the addiction to busyness to finally enjoy the peace you have earned. To understand this anxiety, we have to look at the programming you have been running for the last 50 years. We live in a culture that worships at the altar of productivity. From the time you were in grade school, you were taught a simple, dangerous equation. Your value equals your output. If you got good grades, you are good. If you worked hard, you are responsible. If you stayed late at the office, you were committed. We internalize the idea that time is money, and therefore, to waste time is to waste value. To be idle is to be worthless. For decades, this belief system served you well. It helped you build your career, support your family, and save for this very moment. It drove you to achieve. But here is the trap. You cannot simply turn off a 50-year-old belief system just because you cut a cake and handed in your ID badge. When you retire, the external demand for productivity disappears, but the internal demand remains. You are like a high-performance engine that is still revving at 5,000 RPMs, even though the car is in neutral. You are burning fuel, vibrating with energy, but going nowhere. And that vibration feels like anxiety. Psychologists call this toxic productivity. It is the inability to detach your self-worth from your to-do list. It is the deep-seated fear that if you are not producing something, a fixed sink, a balanced portfolio, a clean house, then you do not exist. When you sit still, you are stripping away the external validation. You are left alone with yourself. And for many of us, that is terrifying. We use busyness as a shield. As long as I am busy, I don't have to feel the void. As long as I am rushing, I don't have to think about the fact that I am aging or that my identity is changing. Busyness is the ultimate anesthetic. So when you try to do nothing, the anesthetic wears off. You feel the raw texture of your own mind, and your mind rebels. It screams for a distraction. It screams for a hit of dopamine. You see, checking a box on a to-do list releases chemicals in the brain. It feels good. It feels like survival. Doing nothing cuts off that chemical supply. You are essentially going through withdrawal from the drug of validation. This is why you see retirees who treat their leisure like a job. They golf with intense aggression. They travel with rigorous itineraries. They approach relaxation with a clipboard. They are trying to win at retirement because they do and know how to just be in retirement. But here is the truth that we need to embrace. You are no longer a human doing. You are a human being. The transition to being a modern elder requires a fundamental rewiring of your relationship with time. In the first half of life, time was a resource to be used. In the second half of life, Time is a medium to be experienced. So, how do we learn the art of stillness? How do we conquer the guilt of the empty chair? It starts with a concept the Dutch call Niksen. Niksen literally means doing nothing, but it is not the same as laziness. Laziness is ignoring your responsibilities. Niksen is the conscious choice to pause. It is staring out the window. It is listening to music without reading a book at the same time. It is watching the clouds move. In our culture, we call this wasting time. In the philosophy of the modern elder, we call this composting. Think about a garden. You cannot force a plant to grow by pulling on it. You cannot demand that the soil be productive 24 hours a day. The soil needs to rest. It needs to sit. In that dark, quiet stillness, the nutrients are replenishing. A magic is happening under the surface. When you practice stillness, you are composting. You are allowing your mind to digest the last 40 years of your life. You are allowing your nervous system to downshift from sympathetic, fight or flight, to parasympathetic, rest and digest. This is not passive. This is an active act of restoration. But knowing this intellectually is one thing. Doing it is another. If you have been a high achiever your whole life, you cannot just decide to be a Zen master overnight. You need training wheels. Here is a practical protocol to begin the practice of doing nothing. Step 1. The do nothing appointment. You must schedule stillness the same way you used to schedule a meeting. Put it on the calendar. 10 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Niksen. When the time comes, set a timer. Your goal is to sit in a chair or on a park bench and do absolutely nothing productive. No phone, no podcast, no planning dinner in your head. At first, this will be excruciating. Your brain will throw a tantrum. You will remember an urgent email you need to send. You will notice a spot on the carpet that needs cleaning. Do not fight these thoughts. Just notice them. Say to yourself, I see that I want to be busy right now. That is just my old programming. And then gently return to the window. Return to your breath. Step 2. Redefine productive. You need to change the scorecard. For the last 40 years, a good day was defined by how much you got done. I want you to write a new definition of a good day. Maybe a good day is defined by how much you noticed. Maybe it is defined by how calm you felt. Maybe it is defined by the quality of your listening. If you spend an hour watching the birds at the feeder, and you feel your blood pressure lower, and you feel a sense of awe at the natural world, that was a productive hour. You produced peace. You produced health. You produced gratitude. These are invisible assets, but they are the most valuable assets you own right now. Step 3. The just sit technique. There is a story about a Zen student who went to his teacher and asked, Master, how do I find enlightenment? The master said, Have you eaten your rice porridge? The student said, Yes. The master said, Then wash your bowl. The lesson is simple. Be where you are. When you drink your coffee in the morning, just drink the coffee. Don't scroll the news. Don't watch the TV. Just taste the coffee. Feel the warmth of the mug in your hand. Smell the roast. This is the antidote to the anxiety. Anxiety lives in the future, in the what's next. Stillness lives in the what's now. When you force yourself to monotask, to do one simple thing with your full attention, you quiet the noise. You realize that you don't need to achieve the moment. You just need to inhabit it. The guilt you feel when you are not working is a lie. It is a ghost from a past life. You have paid your dues. You have contributed to the economy, to your company, to your family. You have run the race. You do not need to keep running laps after the race is over just to prove you are an athlete. The greatest challenge of retirement is not managing your money. It is managing your own mind. It is learning that you are worthy of existence simply because you exist. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. So here is my challenge to you this week. I want you to find a time to be useless. I want you to be gloriously, intentionally useless. Sit on the porch and watch the rain. Lie on the floor and listen to a record. Walk in the woods without counting your steps or tracking your heart rate. Watch what comes up. Watch the anxiety rise, and then watch it fall. Prove to yourself that the world will not fall apart if you take your hand off the wheel for an hour. You might find that on the other side of that boredom, on the other side of that guilt, is the very thing you have been looking for all along. A sense of presence, a sense of peace, a sense of coming home to yourself. We spend our whole lives trying to become somethings. Retirement is the beautiful, terrifying opportunity to finally become nothing, and in that nothingness, to find everything. If this struggle resonates with you, if you have ever felt that twitch of guilt while trying to relax, I want to hear about it. I want to know that I am not alone in this. Tell me in the comments, what is the hardest part of being still for you? And what do you do to quiet the voice that says, get busy? Subscribe to The Modern Elder if you want to walk this path together. We are learning to be human beings again, one quiet moment at a time. Thank you for spending this time with me. Now go do nothing. I'll see you in the next one.